It's wonderful to be with you. It's wonderful to celebrate Shabbat with you. The last day of June 2023. Sometimes it feels like we have to do Shabbat, and sometimes it feels like we need to do Shabbat. I'm feeling a little bit of both tonight. So let's begin on page 10, Yedid Nefesh.
Yedid Nefesh Avarachaman Mishoch Avdach Eritzonach Yarutz Avdach Kimo Ayal Yishtachaveh Muladarach Ki Erablo Yedidutach Minofet Suv Vehotam Igalena Ufros Aviv Alay Etzukal Shelomach Ta'ir Eretz Migvoda Nagila Venismecha Bach Maher Ahu Kivamoen Vehoneni Ki Meolam Nai 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 nai
Lechu Niranana, page 11.
Lechu Niranana, Lechu Niranana, Lechu Lechu Niranana, Adonai. Lechu Niranana, Lechu Niranana, Lechu Lechu Niranana, Adonai. Naria, Naria, Letzuri Shenu, Nigan Mafana Bitoda. Naria, Naria, Letzuri Shenu, Bismiro Naria Lo, Lehu Niranana, Lehu Niranana, Lehu Lehu Niranana, Adonai. Lehu Niranana, Lehu Niranana, Lehu Lehu Niranana, Adonai.
Bottom of page 12.
Arba'im shana kud bedor va'omaram tohem levavhem vehem le'yadu derachai asher nishbati ve'api im yavon el menuchati Shiru l'Adonai shir chadash Shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz Shiru l'Adonai baruch shemo Bazru meyom leyom Yeshuato.
We continue on page 14, Yismechu Hashamayim.
Yismechu Hashamayim.
Yismechu Hashamayim.
Yismechu Hashamayim. Yismechu Hashamayim. V'tagel haaretz. Yismechu Hashamayim. Yismechu Hashamayim. Yismechu Hashamayim. V'tagel haaretz. Yiram hayam. Yiram hayam. Yiram hayam umelo. Yiram hayam. Yiram hayam. Yiram hayam umelo. Yismechu Hashamayim. Yismechu Hashamayim. Yismechu Hashamayim. ותגל הארץ. ירם הים, ירם הים, ירם הים ומלואו. ירם הים, ירם הים, ירם הים ומלואו.
Zamru Ladonai, page 18.
זמרו לאדוני בכינור, בכינור בקול זמרה, בחצוצרות בקול שופר. הריעו לפני המלך אדוני. זמרו לאדוני בכינור, בכינור בקול זמרה, בחצוצרות בקול שופר. הריעו לפני המלך אדוני. ירם הים ולא תבל ויושבי בה. נהרות ימחאו חב יחד הרים ירננו. לפני אדוני כי בא לשפוט הארץ. ישפוט תבל בצדק ועמים במישרים. ירם הים ולא תבל ויושבי בה. נהרות ימחאו חב יחד הרים ירננו.
Romemu, page 20.
Nai, 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 yai, nai, 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 yai, nai, 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 nai. Nai, 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 nai. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu le'har kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu le'har kodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Romemu. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu le'har kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu le'har kodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Romemu.
If you're able to do so, please rise. Mizmor LeDavid, page 21.
Mizmor LeDavid, Havu Adonai b'neilim, Havu Adonai kavod va'oz. Ay, 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 Havu Adonai kevod shemo yishtachavu Adonai hadrat kodesh kol Adonai amayim el hakavod hirim Adonai amayim rabim kol Adonai bakoach ay 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 kol Adonai behadar kol Adonai shover arazim vayashaber Adonai en arzei havanon vayarkidem kemo ekel levanon besiyon kemo ben remima ay 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 kol Adonai Hozen Avotesh kol Adonai Yachil Adonai Midbar Kadesh kol Adonai kol Yayalot Vayechesov Yeharot Uvechalo kulo omer kavod ay 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 Adonai lama bo Yashaba yeshev Adonai melech leolam Adonai os leamo yiten Adonai yevarek etamo vashalom nai 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 nine 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 ay 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 nine nine ya nine 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 ya nine 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 ya nine nine ya nine 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 nine.
Please be seated. Ana Bakoach, page 22. Adonai, if you would, may your mighty right hand undo the knot that ties us up. Accept the prayers of your people, you who are revered. Raise us up and cleanse us.
Ana bechoach, bechoach, gedulat yemincha, yemincha, tater tzerura, kaberinatamcha, sagvenu, tarenu, nora. Ana bechoach, bechoach, gedulat yemincha, yemincha, tater tzerura, kaberinatamcha, sagvenu, tarenu, nora. Ana bekoach gedulat yemincha, tatet serura, gaberinatamcha, rinatamecha, sagvenu, tarenu, nora. Nagibor dorshe Yehudcha kevavat shomrem barchem tarem rachamem sitkatecha tamid gomlem ana bekoach gedulat yemincha tatet serura, gaberinatamcha, sagvenu, tarenu, nora. Nai, 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 nai.
Prepare to greet the Shabbat bride, Lecha Dodi, page 23.
Nai, 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 Lecha dodi lirakala Pnei Shabbat nekabela Lecha dodi lirakala Pnei Shabbat nekabela Shamor v'zachor בדיבור אחד ישמיענו אל המיוחד אדוני אחד ושמו אחד לשם ותפארת ולתחילה לך דודי רק עלה פני שבת נקבלה לקראת שבת נכוון לך כי מקור הברכה מראש מקדם נסוכה סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה לך דודי נקרא קלה פני שבת נקבלה מקדש מלך עיר מלוכה כומציע מתוך אבך רב לך שבט בעמק אבך וכולי יחמול עלי חמלה לך דודי רק עלה פני שבת נקבלה הנה ערים מערפר כומי לבשי בגדיה תפארתך מעליה לבן ישי והלך מקרבה אל נפשי גאלה לך דודי רק עלה פני שבת נקבלה התעוררי כי באורך קומי אורי אורי שדברי כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה לך דודי לקרא קלה פני שבת נקבלה לא תבושי ולא תקמי מה תשתוכחי ומה תקיימי בנק יכסו אני עמי ונבנתה עיר עתידה לך דודי לקרא קלה פני שבת נקבלה והיו לשמסה ז'וסייך ורחקו כל מבלייך יסיס עלייך אלוהייך עם סחוס חתן הקלה לך דודי לקרא קלה פני שבת נקבלה ימין ושמאל תפרוצי ואת אדוני תעריצי על יד איש בן פצי ונשמחה ונגילה לך דודי נקרא קלה פני שבת נקבלה בואי ושלום תרבה גם בשמחה ובצולתו כמוני עם סגולה בואי חלה
שבת מלכתה
לך דודי לקרא קלה פני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקרא קלה פני שבת נקבלה.
Please be seated. We turn to page 27, Mizmor Shir Le'Yom HaShabbat.
מזמור השיר, מזמור השיר, מזמור השיר ליום השבת. מזמור השיר, מזמור השיר, מזמור השיר ליום השבת. טוב טוב להודות לאדוני, טוב טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון. טוב טוב להודות לאדוני, טוב טוב להודות לאדוני, טוב טוב להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך עליון. tov lehodol Adonai, lechagid baboker hasdecha, lechagid baboker hasdecha, ve'emunatcha balelot, ve'emunatcha balelot, tov, tov lehodol Adonai, lechagid baboker hasdecha, lechagid baboker hasdecha, ve'emunatcha balelot, ve'emunatcha balelot, tov, tov lehodol Adonai, tov, tov lehodol Adonai, tov, tov lehodol Adonai, ulezamer leshimcha elyon, tov, tov lehodol Adonai.
Adonai Malach, page 29.
Adonai Malakehu Lavesh, Lavesh, Adonai Ozita Zar, Aftikon, Tevel Baltimod, Aftikon, Tevel Baltimod, Nachon Kisaka Me'az, Me'olam Ata. Naseu neharot Adonai, Naseu neharot olam Yiseu, neharot tokyam mikolot mayim rabim, adirim ishpereyam, adir bamarom Adonai, adir bamarom Adonai, erotecha nelumeo, leveitcha navakodesh, Adonai leorech yamim, Adonai leorech yamim, mikolot mayim rabim, adirim ishpereyam, adir bamarom Adonai, adir bamarom Adonai.
Please rise as we turn to page 39b and heed the call to worship together. Baruch Hu.
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Nai nai na 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 nai 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 na 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 nai nai. Yana nai 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 yana nai nai yana nai. Nai nai na 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 nai 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 na 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 nai nai. Yana nai 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 yana nai nai yana nai. Umavi yom umevi laila, mavdil ben yom uvein laila. Adonai Tzevaot Shemo, Adonai Tzevaot Shemo, El Chai v'Kayam Tamid Yimloch Aleinu Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Ata Adonai Hamariv Aravi.
Ahavat Olam, page 40.
Ahavat Olam Beit Yisrael Amcha Avta Torah u'mitzvot u'kimu mishpatim Otanu limadeta Al kein Adonai Eloheinu V'shokveinu v'kumeinu Nasiach bechukecha V'nismak b'divrei Toratecha U'v'mitzvotecha Le'olam va'ed Ki chen chayenu ve'orech yameinu Ve'orech yameinu U'vahem neged yomam v'layla Ve'ahavatecha al tasir mimenu le'olamim Baruch Ata Adonai Ohev Amo Yisrael Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha V'chol לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם להיות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך
ובישעריך והים שמות ישמעו מצוותי. Page 42. Vayomer Adonai Moshe lemor. Lema'an tizkeru va'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'hitim kedoshim le'elochechem. Ani Adonai Elochechem asher hotzeti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim lihiyot lachem le'elohim. Ani Adonai Elochechem.
Adonai Elohechem.
We continue on page 44, Michamocha.
Michamocha Ba'elim Adonai Michamocha Nedar ba'kodesh Nora tehilot O seifele Nora tehilot O seifele Malchutcha Rahuvanecha Bokei ayam lifnei Moshe Zelianu ve'amru Zelianu ve'amru Adonai imloch le'olam avayen.
Who is like you, Adonai, among the mighty? Who is like you, adorned in holiness, revered in praise, working wonders? Your children recognized your sovereignty as you split the sea before Moshe. This is my God, they responded and said. Adonai will reign forever and ever.
Adonai yimloch le'olam avaed.
Hashkivenu, page 45.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom ve'hamidenu malkeinu l'chaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom ve'hamidenu malkeinu l'chaim. Ushmor tziteinu uvoenu lechaim u'shalom me'ata ve'ad olam. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom ve'hamidenu malkeinu l'chaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom ve'hamidenu malkeinu l'chaim.
Adonai, shelter us in the shadow of your wings. For you are our God, please watch over us and deliver us. And you, God, are sovereign, merciful, and compassionate. Please ensure our going and coming for life and peace now and forever. May you spread over us your canopy of peace. Baruch atah Adonai, who spreads the canopy of peace over us, over all the people Israel, and over Jerusalem.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom ve'hamidenu malkeinu l'chaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom ve'hamidenu malkeinu l'chaim.
Please rise as we sanctify Shabbat together. Vishamru, page 46.
Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני, עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
Hatzikaresh, page 46.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה בעלמא דברה קירותי וימליך מלכותי בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי כל בית ישראל בגלה ובזמן הקריב ויאמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מברך לעולם עולם מעלמיה יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם וינשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי לקדושה בריחו לילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דמירן בעלמא ויאמרו Amen.
The Amidah for Friday night begins on page 47. This is a silent prayer. Use the words of the Siddur to guide you or the private meditations of your own heart. For those of you still praying your Amidah, please continue to do so. The rest of us may be seated. Shalom Rav is on page 51.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha tasim leolam. Ki ata hu melech adon lechol hashalom. Ki ata hu melech adon lechol hashalom. Shalom rav al Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. Shalom rav al Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. V'tov beinecha levarech et amcha Yisrael bechol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom rav al Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. Shalom rav al Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. Tasim leolam. Tasim leolam.
We make peace together. Oh, say shalom, page 52.
Oh, say shalom b'maromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru amen. Oh, say shalom b'maromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru amen. Oh, say shalom b'maromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru amen. Oh, say shalom b'maromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru amen. Oh, say shalom b'maromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru amen. Oh, say shalom b'maromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru amen.
Kaddish Shalem, page 54.
יקרא ויגרש שמי רבה,
אמן.
בעלמא דברה קריאותי וימליך מלכותי בחייכוני וימיכוני וחי לכל בית ישראל, בגלה ובזמן קריב וימירו, אמן. יהי שמי רבה מברך, והעלם עולם מעלמיה. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר וירומם וינשא ויתהדר וינעלה ויתהלל שמי לקדושה, בריחו לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה דאמירה מעלמה ואמרו אמן. תתקבל צלות ההון והות לכל ישראל, כל דבהון ושמיה ואמרו אמן. יהי שלמה רבה מן שמיה, וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. There's a church in Squire, West Virginia, that is unlike most churches. While it has many of the staples of a regular church, it has a building, there's a service, there's pews, songs, a preacher, and a pulpit. But additionally, this church has a mysterious wooden box located on the side of the stage to where the choir typically stands. Now, what is exactly in this box? There's no easy way to say this without sounding weird, because it is. So I'm just going to tell you, this box is filled with live snakes. Now, I'm not talking about the cute little slithery green things you found in your mother's garden. No, these are enormous, venomous serpents. So it begs the question, what are these enormous snakes doing in a church service? This is a real thing, by the way. I'm not making this up. According to an obscure passage from the Gospel of Mark in the Christian Bible, it mentions in the end times that holy people will, quote, take up serpents, and if they drink poison, they will not be hurt at all. So, I kid you not, during these Pentecostal services in very remote parts of the country, pastors and lay leaders will remove huge, poisonous snakes from these wooden crates on the stage, and they begin to dance and sing with them during the actual church service. Now, you might be thinking right now, this sounds like a bad idea. And the reason you're thinking that is because it is a bad idea. In fact, this practice has become illegal in all Appalachian states except West Virginia, and subsequently Alabama, Kentucky, and Tennessee have likewise passed laws against the handling of venomous snakes and other reptiles without a permit, which I've got to say, this is pretty sad that we have to create laws to stop people from doing things in religious services that are obviously dangerous to their health. We have to pass laws to stop people from handling snakes in church. By the way, the snake handling in church has a pretty bad track record when it comes to safety. For instance, Pastor Chris Wolford, this is the primary snake handling pastor of Squire, West Virginia, he admits openly that both his father, the former pastor, and his brother were both killed from snake bites that happened during a church service. Now, obviously, just from the look on your faces, snake handling is not a practice that would ever fly in a Jewish setting, and there's a good reason for that. Well, there's many reasons, but our people have a troubled history with snakes and snake bites going back to the original days of Moses and even before that in the Garden of Eden. In this week's Torah portion, Parshat Hukat, we read about a very strange anecdote that occurs while our people are wandering through the desert. Of course, the Jews begin the shtick of complaining about the food. Again, this is something that has likewise been going on for a long time. They complain there's no bread, there's no water, the food is bad, and finally, God has enough, and the Torah tells us that God sends venomous, sometimes this is even translated as fiery. God sends snakes that go and bite the Jewish people, and it says that many people die because of this. So finally, the people beg for Moses to intercede with God. They say, please make the snakes go away. So God tells Moses to build a copper snake statue, mount it on a pole, and anyone who looks at this snake on the pole will recover. Just as a side note, the symbol of the medical industry is literally this image. Take a look next time you're at a hospital or a doctor's office. It's a snake wrapped around a big pole that is supposed to signify healing. Now, on the offset, this whole situation seems to be counterintuitive to the rest of the themes of the Torah. I mean, one of the 10 Commandments is that we're supposed to refrain from making a pestle, a statue, or an idol. And this certainly seems to fit that bill. Additionally, it seems problematic that the image that the people are supposed to look up to, literally, is the same deceptive animal that human beings first encountered in the Garden of Eden, when they were manipulated into eating the forbidden fruit and subsequently kicked out. So it begs the question, why would God utilize this particular image and tell Moses to make this particular statue? Well, there's no official explanation in the Torah, but I've got an idea that I want to share with you. In Jewish tradition, the snake represents spiritual immaturity, or the lack of trust or faith in the divine. We see this with our first initial encounter with the serpent in the book of Bereshit in Genesis. Adam and Eve are lured into temptation by a snake who tells them that the real reason God doesn't want them to eat the fruit is because once they do, their eyes will be opened and they'll know what divine beings know. By the way, this is the same rhetoric that you probably heard when you were a kid or a teenager and one of your friends was trying to convince you to do something that you shouldn't do. It's always something like, come on, you should drink the beer, it's not going to make you throw up. Your parents are just saying that because they don't want you to have fun. This is an immature method of decision making. But I've got to tell you, it's incredibly effective because we, as human beings, we don't like being told what to do. So it's oftentimes not a hard sell to get us to do the forbidden thing. And if we repeat to ourselves the mantra of, it's not so bad, so-and-so just doesn't want me to have fun. If we do that long enough, before long, we end up believing it ourselves. This is why I think God uses the symbol of the snake once again. God is reminding us that it's foolish to put our faith in anything other than God. So what can we do with this now? Well, I'll tell you what the rabbis and the sages of our tradition did with it. This is a story from the Talmud that I found that I really like. It goes like this. It says, quote, "There was once a snake which used to bite and injure people. They came and told Rabbi Hanina ben Dosa, and they asked him what to do about it. So he said to them, 'Show me the hole where the snake lives.' So they went and showed him its hole. And when he put his heel over the hole, the snake came out and bit him. But then the snake died. He put the snake on his shoulder and brought it into the Beit Midrash, the study hall, and he said to them, 'You see, my sons, it is not the snake that kills. It is sin that kills.'" Now, obviously, this is a metaphor, friends. Please don't go and stick your feet over a venomous snake pit. But Rabbi Hanina ben Dosa's quote brings it all together. It is the sinful arrogance of the serpent in his story, which assumes it can bite anyone it wants without a repercussion. That's what finally causes the snake to meet its untimely end. You see, when we're spiritually immature, we act like a bunch of narcissists. We feel like we have the ability to take on the world. We can do anything, have anything, beat anyone at anything. We lack true humility. This story is meant to teach us that when we dedicate ourselves to prayer and study and attempt to replicate the divine and be godlike, like Rabbi Hanina ben Dosa did, only then can we evolve and become spiritually mature, less inclined to be spiritually harmed. Now, a critic might note that this sentiment sounds eerily familiar to that of the West Virginia Handling Snake Church. After all, it seems to be the message that they send too, right? In the end days, the holy ones will be able to handle serpents and not be harmed. Well, this is where we differ, thankfully. While Christianity suggests that toward the end of time, people will become even holier than they are now, Judaism maintains that since that original snake moment in the Garden of Eden, humanity has been in a downward spiral of integrity. And it's only when the Mashiach, or the Messiah, finally arrives, this is the one who is supposed to be the most spiritually aware, it's only when he arrives and resets the world into a knowledge of the true God. Only then will children, like the prophet Isaiah says, quote, be able to play over the den of the cobra or put their hand into the serpent hole. But friends, we aren't there yet. And the only way out of spiritual immaturity is through spiritual growth. That is how we evolve, and that is how, according to tradition, we will eventually bring about the Mashiach, the Messiah. In conclusion, it's up to us to ultimately put our faith in God, not ourselves, not in each other, and not in the universe. If we don't do this, we're essentially just a snake in the grass. Shabbat Shalom. As we continue celebrating Shabbat together, we acknowledge that angels could visit us at any moment if we just sing Shalom Aleichem, which you can find on page 73. Please rise as we sing together.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharim, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boechem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim, Kadosh Baruch Hu. Barguni l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedkem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Kiddush is on page 76. If we have children that want to come up and celebrate Shabbat with us, Bentley, Kai, come on guys. Anybody wants to come up?
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pori hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh boreshit ki hu yom techila lamikraei kodesh zecher letziat Mitzrayim kivanu v'acharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava uvratzon kinchatanu Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh Hashabbat. Shabbat.
Amen. You guys help me say Hamotzi? Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. You guys want a piece of challah? Here. All right, come get a piece, guys. Here we go. We remain standing. Aleinu is on page 56. Get a good one.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'tei gedula le'otze bereshit, shelo asanu koyei haratzot, velo samanu k'mishpechot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kachem, vegor aleinu kechol hamonam, va'anachnu korim, umishtachavim umodim, lifnei melech malachei hamlachim, hakadosh baruch hu, she'unu teshamayim ve'osed haaretz, umishmim taro v'shmamah. Be'etz hayom ha'keshev v'tefel lecha. Okay, mekabel Elohim. ככתוב בתורתך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא, יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו,
Please be seated. Temple Beth Sholom is acknowledging the yortzites of Raphael Abalos, Dora G. Berman, Evelyn Berman, Harry Blatt, Judith Chester, Joseph I. Duer, Bernard Edison, Max N. Trotter, Lillian Cohen Epstein, Benjamin Finkelstein, Louis Fox, Maurice Garber, Tilly Giddle, Ma Julia Goodman, Isaac Gordon, Nathan Grober, Harold Harmel, Ray Eisen, Sarah Kahn, Michael Kleinman, Jack Collard, Lauren Flato-Leibovitz, Corinne Lamp, Aaron Licker, Sarah Gold-Lintner, Kalman Marmer, Frida Miller, Anita Moll, Joseph Novak, Mayor Pekovsky, Melvin Peters, Lily Phillips, Sheepa Phillips, Emil Resnick, Samuel Rosenblum, Louis Rothkope, Arlene Ruditsky, Fred Schwartz, Norman Schlisky, Sadie Smith, David Sostak, Campbell Philip Stark, Mildred Steinberg, Rachel Stone, Rose B. Weinstein, Charles Weintraub, and Leo A. Wilner. Mourners and those observing a yortzeit have an opportunity to say the mourner's Kaddish, which can be found on page 58. Yitzkadal v'yitzkadash shemei rabbah, be'alma divara kirutei v'yamlich malkutei, b'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chaye de kol beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'v'zman kari v'imru, amen. Yehei shmei rabba mevorach le'alam u'lalmei almaya, Yitzbarak v'yishtabak v'yitzpa'ar v'yitzramam v'yitnaseh, v'yitzadar v'yitzaleh v'yitzalal shemei de kudishah barichu, le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata z'amiran be'alma v'imru, amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. Oseh shalom b'mamav, hu ya'aseh shalom, Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru. Amen. Please be seated. We now have an opportunity to hear some announcements from one of our board of directors, Paul Schlisky.
Hard to follow a story about snakes. Please join us tomorrow at 9 a.m. for Shabbat morning services. Please join us during the week for morning minyan. This week, morning minyan will be at 9 a.m. on Sunday and Tuesday, and 7:30 on Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And then Sunday, we have a breakfast after at around 9:45. Early sign-up has begun for Kadima USY. A free USY Las Vegas water bottle is yours if you register by August 6th. Until August 1st, TBS USY is joining up with Jewish Nevada for a school supply drive. Drop-off is in the main foyer and benefits those in need in our valley. This Sunday at 9 a.m., the TBS Men's Club will get together for a member minyan and breakfast. I was ahead of myself there. Saturday, July 8th, Rabbi Hodson will be celebrated here at TBS before he leaves for San Antonio. We look forward to seeing you. On Tuesday, July 18th at 10 a.m., Women's League Book Club will meet to discuss A Horse Walks into a Bar by David Grossman. Details for these events can be found in your Shabbat handout and weekly TBS email. Following service, please join us for our own egg in the large social hall. If you know a temple member who is in the hospital, ill at home, or in a nursing home, please contact the temple office to let us know. And if anybody's new to the service for the first time tonight, please stop by and say hello. Shabbat Shalom.
DJ, they're so happy that I'm leaving. They're celebrating next week. Boy, howdy, he done left.
We're going to invite the whole neighborhood. It's
All right. All right. We conclude our service, Adon Olam, page 211.
Adon Olam asher malach b'terem kol yitzir nivra le'nasa v'hefsokol azai melech shemo nikra v'acharein kilot hakol levado yimlok nora vehu haya vehu hoveh vehu yeh b'tifara Adon Olam asher malach b'terem kol yitzir nivra le'nasa v'hefsokol azai melech shemo nikra vehu echad ve'ein sheni lehamshil lo le'akvira beli reshit beli tachlit belo ha'oz ve'hamisra vehu eli ve'hagoali ve'tzur hevli ve'etzara vehu nisi ubanos li menat kosi beyom ekra Adon Olam asher malach b'terem kol yitzir nivra le'nasa v'hefsokol azai melech shemo nikra be'ado avkiruhi ve'etishan ve'ahira ve'imruki geviati Adon ali velo ira Adon Olam asher malach b'terem kol yitzir nivra le'nasa v'hefsokol azai melech shemo nikra azai melech shemo nikra.
We end our services with the blessing, Yivarechecha.
Yevorechecha Adonai ve'yishmerecha Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yikunecha Yisad Adonai ve'yishmerecha.
Adonai oz le'emo yitain, Adonai yivarech et zamo v'shalom. Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Odevo shalom aleinu, Odevo shalom aleinu, Odevo shalom aleinu ve'al kulam. Odevo shalom aleinu, Odevo shalom aleinu, Odevo shalom aleinu ve'al kulam. Salam aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam shalom. Salam aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam shalom. Odevo shalom aleinu, Odevo shalom aleinu, Odevo shalom aleinu ve'al kulam. Odevo shalom aleinu, Odevo shalom aleinu, Odevo shalom aleinu ve'al kulam.